Hello, welcome back to the James Almond Reviews for yet another episode. In today's episode, I'm actually going to be bringing to you an Indian review, and I've not done this since last week with the whole Jawan video, and obviously in between that I was kind of reviewing a couple other things like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 and the Like a Dragon Yakuza series. And I did watch this movie 3 or 4 days ago. I watched it over the weekend, and so I've not had the chance to really review it yet. So this is my chance to really kind of get myself into the movie and talk about it, stuff like that. But just so you are aware, on my channel I have actually been doing Indian movie reviews because I've been trying to get into a different kind of cinema and all that kind of stuff, so that I'm, giving you something else for me to share my passion towards, and then I can either recommend or not recommend a movie based on how I feel, kind of thing. So then you get to Swag, where my inspiration for actually watching this movie was actually seeing it on my TV as a preview, of scrolling by on my TV. It's like, oh, it's Swag 2024. Turns out it's on Amazon Prime. The movie originally came out on October 4th, theatrically wise. So as I'm recording this right now, it's the 6th of November. So it's been a month, and then obviously it's came to streaming I think 2 or 3 weeks after that. So it's not been out for that long. And so what this movie is actually about, it is another crazy, dramatic, silly movie where, it's this time you have this family bloodline called Swaginka, I think it's called Swaginka, right? They're like a swag bloodline kind of thing, but the main actor is trying to be this guy who's like, I need to be the heir to this throne. I need to be the guy that turns this matriarchal society into the patriarchal one. So then it turns into this sexist, kind of stereotype movie where the men are the leaders of the world, and it gets crazy from there. And it's a 2.5 hour movie, so it is quite the film. But how do I actually think about the movie? So Swag 2024, whatever you want to call this film, I'm gonna be honest that the first half of this movie, first hour, maybe hour and a half, not sure, it's interesting to see how this concept plays out and how it would go on. But when you watch, especially when you watch a movie at home and you're just kind of sitting there letting the time pass by, it's like the movie does drag on a bit. And because it's not an action movie and it's more so a comedy, character driven drama where there's so much going on, but then at the same time it feels like a lot of these jokes that they were telling and these silly gimmicks, they kind of run dry, if you know what I mean. The main actor, he plays this cop who doesn't want his his wife or his whatever, his love partner, to actually have kids. But then on the other half of this is that he's actually a social media star that poses for TikTok. And what I remember is that in one scene or one piece of dialogue, it says, once he enters the TikTok, he'll become a banger. And it's yeah, that's kind of funny, but then they do this song 3 or 4 times. So rather than having 4 or 5 different songs to jazz up the atmosphere, like in Jawan, for example, where you've got those different environments where they're dancing, it's kind of just this dude dancing with sunglasses and funky clothes on. And it's not the greatest, most well-constructed, well-executed piece of Indian cinema that I could have watched. It's watchable enough, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell you should be going out of your way to watch this movie. It's good enough if you want to pass the time and get a little bit of entertainment. But for me, I would definitely give this movie a solid 5 out of 10. Not your greatest movie ever, but it still is there to have a good time if you're willing to have such a good time with it. And so yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Not sure how I was going to construct the video, but this is probably the best way in which I can describe it, because I'm not going to go back and re-watch the movie, because it's not that kind of film where I want to re-watch it. It was just kind of there, you know, that one time. That was the experience I got from it, and I do remember towards like the end of the movie, the last half an hour, I was starting to fall asleep because I was kind of getting bored. It was just kind of dragging on. It was kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? I chose to watch this movie at like 8 o'clock at night, so it wasn't like I was like super duper tired at that time on the weekend. But yeah, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. This is something slightly a bit different because it's more of a critical, more critical and more, you know, critiquey than the other Bollywood videos, because I've been absolutely praising and enjoying these types of movies. But then you'll get those ones where you don't necessarily think it's the greatest thing ever. So yeah, bye. I just wanted to explain myself really well there. Yeah, bye.